What are those categories? Classification of business activities. This is a big term, business, you can see here. Now we have classified business into two parts, industry and commerce. And then commerce can further be divided into trade and auxiliaries to trade. Now, business, we already know the meaning of business. Now, let us see the meaning of industry. What does industry means? Industry means when we are converting the conversion of resources into useful goods. For example, we have some goods, but raw we cannot use them. When we are converting them into something useful for the customer, that is known as industry. So, industry refers to economic activities which are concerned with conversion of resources into useful goods. For example, this cotton textile industry produces textile goods from cotton. Cotton is given to us from the plants, and those cotton, we are converting that cotton into fabric, and then those fabric are further stitched into clothes. So, what this is done by whom? This is done by industry. Then, electronic industry produces electronic goods like TV, video camera, etc. And then there are industries like breeding and raising of animals are going on there. And then we use those things also. So, industry is, it refers to an activity which is related to extraction of something. We are extracting from the earth, either from soil, water, okay? We are extracting these things. Production, breeding, and processing of raw materials into goods and rendering of services. This is known as industry. Industry creates form utility. What do we mean by the word form? Form is changing the form of that particular thing. That cotton is one form, it is raw form. Then I am changing cotton into fabric. So I have changed the form of cotton. So industry creates what? Industry creates form utility by converting material into intermediate goods for further processing or finished goods for final consumption. Now here they have used two words, finished goods and intermediate goods. Finished goods, that the final product is already out and now the customer can use it. And intermediate goods are that they are further used in any other industry for becoming the final product, right? Then industries also, this is what we have done already. I have given you the example of industries. So industry is an economic activity which are concerned with conversion of resources into useful goods. We are making useful goods. Now industry, we have understood the meaning of industry, but then we will further divide industry into three types: primary, secondary, and tertiary. What do we mean by primary industry? These industries are concerned with extraction and production of natural resources and reproduction or development of living organisms, plants. Right? Primary industry, that the products are made here for the first time. Two students are not able to connect. So primary industries are the industries which are connected with the extraction and production of raw materials, that we are extracting something from the earth or we are producing the natural resources and we are reproducing them or development of living organisms. For example, in the extractive industries we consider farming, mining, gold mine or coal mine is there. Then lumbering. What do we mean by lumbering? Lumbering is that when these trees are timber and all this work is related to that. We are cutting the trees and timber is something we use. Then hunting, fishing, gardening, and genetic industries are in which animals are reproduction and development of living organisms and plants are taking place. Okay. Now coming to the secondary industry. What is the secondary industry? Secondary industry is that the name is second. It has come from the word second. So there must be something who is first. First is primary industry. That primary industry is doing firstly, and whatever the primary industry has produced, that thing is used secondary by the secondary industry. So the secondary industry is using the raw material of primary industry. And secondary industry can further be divided into two parts, manufacturing and construction. Like in the manufacturing industry, they have given us sugar, and sugar is made from sugarcane, and sugarcane is grown in the primary industry, and then as a raw material sugarcane is used in the secondary industry, and then sugar is produced from sugarcane. Same way textile. For textile, raw material is cotton. Cotton is grown in the primary industry, and then it is used as a raw material in the secondary industry, that is textile industry. Right? So these are the examples of manufacturing industries. And then construction industries. Construction industry also takes raw material from the primary industry, and then they make their products. Then now coming the third industry. The third industry is known as the tertiary industry. Now primary industry is making the raw material, and that raw material is used by the secondary industry to make the final product. Now the producer has made the product, and that product is lying in the factory. How will that producer sell the product? The producer will make an advertisement for the customers that this product I have produced, please purchase it. And then he will receive orders. How he will be receiving orders? On phone he will be receiving orders. So communication, for communication he need telephone, for communication he needs computer, or anything, or whatever the way he want to communicate, through letters or something else. So communication he also needs. And till the time the customer is purchasing his product, he need to store that product. Where he will be storing that product? In a storehouse. That storehouse, in business studies term we call it warehouse. So warehouse facility is given to us by warehousing. Now the customer is telling us on phone that please send these products to Delhi, and the producer is in Bombay. So the producer is in a little bit tension that if my products get spoiled in the midway, then I will bear a lot of risk. So what should I do? So he will get the product insured. He has taken an insurance policy from the company, travel insurance, that in between when I'm sending my products from Bombay to Delhi, if the product is damaged in between, then you travel insurance is not the word. It came to my mind that please give me insurance for my goods till they reaches the customer. So insurance company is saying, okay, you give me the premium, I'll give you insurance. So in that case, insurance is helping him to conduct the business activity. And then the product has reached the customer. Now I call up the customer, the producer calls up the customer, that product has reached to you. They are fine. Now please make the payment. Then the customer will say, how should I make the payment? I cannot come to Bombay to give you cash. So he will say, no, no, it's not a problem. You send me money through online banking. So in that case, what that person will be doing, the person will be sending the check, or he will be sending the demand draft, or that person will be transferring the funds through transfer funds. So in that case, what is coming to our help? Banking is helping us. So what are all these things? These things in the tertiary industry, they are the services which help the primary and the secondary industry for conducting the business activities. So clear about the types of industries? Tertiary industry is also known as aids to trade because it is helping in the trade. Trade is व्यापार, व्यापार में मदद करना, ठीक है? Or services to industries, intangible goods or service industry. This we have done. Industries can be classified into three major categories: primary, secondary, tertiary, or service industry. We have discussed all these things. Now coming to, we discussed earlier that business can be classified into industry, and going to the flowchart again. What the flowchart was saying, the flowchart was, this flowchart was there. Business can be classified into industry and commerce, and then commerce can further be classified into trade and auxiliaries to trade. So yes, Vivek, you want to ask a question? You want to ask a question? No? Okay, now going to commerce. What do we mean by commerce? Then we will see about the trade and auxiliaries to trade. Now, commerce is it includes buying and selling of goods known as trade and supporting services facilitating includes buying and selling of goods that is trade as well as auxiliaries such as transport, banking, insurance, communication, advertisement, packaging and warehousing. So it includes buying and selling of goods. When we are providing the link between producers and consumers, right? That is known as commerce. So commerce create form utilities. A lot of commerce create a lot of utilities. What are those utilities? कॉमर्स रिमूव हिंड्रेंस ऑफ पर्सन्स हिंड्रेंस इज रुकावट किसी चीज में रुकावट आ रही है उसको हम हिंड्रेंस बोलते हैं how commerce removes hindrance of persons by making the goods available to the customers from the producers that day also I told you that tea is most of the tea is produced in my voice is not clear sometimes it happens, Kashish, but I keep repeating the topics every time in the classes, so I think you will be able to understand. Or you read from the screen if any point is not clear to me, any word is not clear to me, please ask me. Now, commerce remove hindrance of persons. Hindrance of persons means that the producer does not know the consumer and the consumer does not know the producer. So, commerce acts as a link between them so that they can distribute the products to the other person. Producers and consumers are generally located at different places. Commerce removes the hindrance of persons with the help of channels of distribution. Like the manufacturer has made the product, the manufacturer will sell it to the wholesaler like we have wholesale market in old delhi in delhi then those wholesalers will be selling it to the agents will be selling it to the distributors and distributors will be selling it to the retailers otherwise for simplicity we will keep the chain simple that the producer has made the product he wants to sell the product in bulk in large quantity so he will be selling the product to the wholesaler and the wholesaler will be selling it to the retailers who will then be selling to us to the ultimate consumer means the person to whom the goods are to be sold then commerce acts as a bridge between producer and consumer commerce bridges the gap producer is at this place and consumer is at this place so producer wants to reach to the customer and the customer wants to consumers want to reach to the producer so who will be bridging this gap the gap will be covered by commerce so commerce bridges the gap between producer and the consumer second what commerce does is commerce removes the hindrance of place by moving goods from the places of production to the markets for sale. This again, I told you yesterday only that tea is produced in Darjeeling and Assam and it is reaching throughout the India. How it is reaching throughout the India? Through the use of transportation. So commerce, transportation is a part of commerce. So commerce removes the hindrance of place by transportation. Transportation is available to us with the help of transportation by bringing the goods from the place of production to the market of sale. Now, commerce removes the hindrance of time. How they remove the hindrance of time? By storage and warehousing activities. Like we have seasons. Some of the things are sold in, some of the things are used in summer and some of the things are used in winter season. But till the time they are not getting used, we store them somewhere that so that they don't get destroyed, they don't get spoiled. Why? How come we are doing this? With the help of storage and warehousing, we keep them in warehouses. We store them in proper conditions so that they can be used in future. Right? So commerce removes hindrance of time with the help of warehousing and storage facilities as the goods are generally produced well in advance with the anticipation of demand that we think that in future there will be demand for this product, so we will be producing it even before the demand. So we need to, when we have produced something before the demand has come to us, we want to store them where we want to, we will be storing that, we will be storing that in warehouses. So commerce removes hindrance of time. Now, commerce removes the hindrance of risk. How commerce removes the hindrance of risk? Through insurance, because we know that fire can be there. If I'm transporting my goods through water, my goods are going into ship to another country, then I have the risk that they may get spoiled in between the transit. So I will take insurance and I'll cover the risk and I will become tension free. And then I have a lot of risk. I have a risk that the person may not give my money. In that case, I will take the risk, take the insurance. So I will, whatever tensions are there in my mind, that as a businessman, that this can happen, then in that case that businessman can take insurance and do the business tension free with the help of insurance. Then commerce removes the hindrance of finance, removes the hindrance of finance by banking. Capital required to undertake all these activities. I'm using the warehouse, I'm doing insurance, I'm using transportation also, I'm selling products on credit basis also, that the person has told me that I will be giving money after 3 months. In that case, for all that I need capital, that capital problem of the I need money, so that problem is solved by banking. And then what I have is commerce removes hindrance of information. For example, the producer has produced something, produced a useful product, and that producer wants to sell it outside, but he need to inform the customers that this product is there with us and we have made it. So how he will be informing the prospective customer? I have used the word prospective. There is a difference between customer and prospective customer. Prospective customer is the person whom I am anticipating, I am just expecting that he will become my customer. So I have used the word prospective customer. So how will I give information to the customer? Through the use of advertising. So advertising, communication, media, internet, public relations, sales representatives, channels of distributions, etc. make consumers aware about the availability and essential information relating to the product. So, like 1 mark questions or MCQs can be there. Like we can ask you which type of activity removes the hindrance of place. Options will be there. Then you will be writing transportation. Which activity removes the hindrance of time? Then you will be writing warehousing. In same way, you need to remember that these are the hindrances and it is removed by which thing. ठीक है? Clear? So we have done this commerce and auxiliaries to trade we have done today. Trade means